У нас друге тестування Бебрадрона нашого українського. Для нас рекорд тим, що це мій другий політ і бебра ціла. Абсолютно повністю все ціле. Можна знову летіти. Це прям дуже класно, враховуючи те, що воно зроблено з пінопласту.
My name is Volodymyr. My call sign is a drone. I am the commander of the department. Our department is engaged in the repair of engineering equipment, as well as equipment that performs tasks in the LBZ area directly. There is also the evacuation of equipment hit by the enemy or partially damaged. We work at any time in order to put the equipment in order as quickly as possible. In the army, I first full-scale invasion. In civilian life, he was a private entrepreneur. He was engaged in freight transportation, dealt with trucking equipment, so he understands it very well. This is our own development, a device for evacuating equipment, including in the area of LBZ. It works with a shoulder mechanism with the help of a jack. When the jack comes down, it goes under the car, under the presence of the beam in front. It is attached there. And with the help of the jack, she pulls and lifts the car, at the time when the chains are attached to the layer. In 2 minutes, it is enough to lift a car whose front part was destroyed, lift it and actually evacuate from any place where there is a need for evacuation. Here they cling. Ropes or chain on the beam. Quite an effective thing when there is no time to load on a truck. It goes like a trailer, very convenient. You can evacuate an off-road pickup. Well, approximately its weight, as well as a tractor. In the case of a full-scale invasion, it was necessary to join the ranks and stand up for defense. The family, of course, was worried and of course, it was difficult for her to accept it. But the need for the defense of the country has not gone anywhere. As you love your family, you should also love your country, your town, your street, and it is dear and painful to you. And you have to push yourself away from this so that, well, in principle, if you look at it this way, the situation in the country may change, but the people, the land and everything that is dear to you, it remains forever. At the beginning of a full-scale invasion, my motivation would be enough for a battalion. Sometimes he does his own thing, separation from his family. Physically, it is a bit difficult, so I want people to understand this, get involved, somehow directly influence the decision of the faction of the war, and not just observe. Own car. It is like a car workshop for me. I use it as a mobile workshop and also for movements, for the purchase of spare parts and communication of such mobility. At the wheel of a tractor, at the wheel of a truck, a van, a passenger car, without difference, all-wheel drive, any engineering technique that is currently being used by force. Sit down to do something. An SUV that performs tasks in the LBZ area is currently being repaired. A wreck with a gas distribution mechanism. We are waiting for spare parts, and then we set up the device. And including these are not only such repairs, it is also the chassis. The so-called autobans in the LBZ area are very worn out by their roads and pits.
В тому числі це не тільки такі ремонти, це і ходова частина. Дуже великий знос призводить так звані автобани в районі ЛБЗ своїми дорогами і ямами.
It all needs repair. The equipment is used and needs hands, needs drivers, needs masters. We use our own strength as much as possible. What we can do, what we don't have time for, we involve a secondary service station, because we simply don't have the physical ability to pull it all. That's why we want people to understand that the armed forces are not only the LBZ line, but there is also the rear, which is needed in order to carry out the LBZ line. And the armed forces is a large mechanism in which everyone performs a certain role and participation. Thanks to most of us, the unit was still motivated. There are specific tasks, there are stable repair works, but in general, a friendly team, a great atmosphere. Without pathos, without any extra impositions and suggestions. Join us.
Без пафосу, без лишніх якихось нав'язувань і навіювань. Долучайся до нас.
Dynamic music. Our group consists of 3 axes. That's it. I'm without mediation. I understand on Maitre's Retunsliat for Fivadrons and pilots you borrow. To Ruvans without mediation Pevadrons and Sapariki from Paris, Pevadrons, and without mediation then we have an economy with additional functions, still pumping, functioning in Pomnatin, and direct wild. There was a moment between them and their wife, we could remember, and for the honorable. The main golden cyst is on the piglets at the required height, and the skyrots in the correct alignment. And there's also a technical guy there, who's going to do some physical training for the citizens. But then, in a messy way, it's still out of hand. Then they haven't yet identified the equipment, and so you will not resurrect main sermon. And also kudos for the main thing. It's time to start, I think. I will also feed the chain with a strong practical activities for that red, I think. And so the ore bore her. If you give it away, you can be captured. From this, let's say, the main lobes later, so in the wheelhouse. Be careful, Fedra, don't wear it, you understand, and Denkinatsu didn't have a good time, and they don't have any confidence either. And the Trosliator itself is understood in Paunavusi. Let's tell her everything in French. And if the cap hasn't danced Petalite yet, forgiveness of his flow-through loan, at a glance, and without fussing, then he will replace the battery again. You can check it yesterday. Pihotentitsy was overgrown. Let's say, on their biche, they found out. Let's just say there would be no waste. Itself paradigm extreme. This is their one of the most naive, unforgiving cuts of the Svika. Let's say, like this, we are Rezavodina, Baspusoriadina, and also a brother is infuriated. He piloted in a beer. Their whos and other mothers. This will come during the course of the network. After all, there wasn't any, but the Zinni one. Well, let's just say it's fucking. We will, my door topic, than they gave you. The yards, you have a better chance of putting it in. Russia Batna is being pre-formed and Energetov. 6 is similar, and the Latiki are more subdued. Let's say, like this. Everything is like this, that you want to get already there, to the point of cigar rows. Let's say, to my taste, the army, who is the target here. For example, conuration on a straight edge, it has shellbrates, without a middle one. And also the return, according to our brothers, is also to the Ripunda. Well, because they spent on their own, and in front of those. Because 4 or 5 are the basics. Almost everything there is in the Nakatan way. It's a 1.5 gauge retonator. Pilots are squeamish about beer, that's it. Well, there are still moments. For example, there in the clay fight, and the brush there was such a situation situation back at the Autobnia. You wouldn't go in for a blow, but here and there you could cut him off where he might. It's us who will help you mix it. Help us with the system card like this. Well, I mean, get busy. Let's say here we are, a cardinal brush, flowing screw us, by the way. We are at the radio station, say like this, where we are familiar with the Sira. Just like that on a stagnant Mistia. A skin there is a flow, a skin's pone coast. Tie your wreaths before praying. We are trying to digitalize. For the sake of clarity, we are looking for information on these aspects of kis instruccji. We are replacing it with kisnalashtovania, and whos and kitties, let's say. There are instructions for shortening the work, and it would be nice, so she needs to jump in the well-known hours. The bottom edges are meant to narrow at all times. Now, what else do you know? What is the most important? There is information, the devil they will be.
Кожного там тижня, кожного певного якогось періоду з'являються якісь новинки до опрацювання. Ми стараємося відслідковувати, частково також інформацію подають з нашої сторони. Там якісь інструкції, можливо, змінилися якісь налаштування, і там чи якісь, скажімо, там інструкції для покращення роботи безпосередньо також бригада надає, то ми знайомимося. Стараємося не зупинятися, розвиватися. В наш час, чим більше ти знаєш, чим більше ти володієш інформацією, тим легше тобі буде в бою.